Welcome to Ayurveda and Spirituality with your host, Alakananda Ma, a renowned Ayurvedic expert and a graduate of a top London medical school. She is the principal of Alundi Ayurveda Gurukula, a unique apprenticeship-style school in Boulder, Colorado. She is a spiritual mother, teacher, flower essence maker, and storyteller. Join us as we uncover the timeless principles of Ayurveda, discover practical tips for enhancing vitality, and explore the deeper dimensions of spirituality that intertwine with the ancient science of life.
So I wanted to share some poems for the time of year. So I'm calling this Miracle of Light poetry reading. And I just put some poems together that I've written down the years relevant to this season. The first one is called Season of Dark. This season of dark nourishes me. Creativity germinates beneath rotting leaves. Poems sprout in frosty soil. Inner journeys unfold. Driven within by chilly nights, I seek the inner spark. In this time of waiting, birth of divine child, I nourish him, the Prince of Peace, with heart's warm blood. Honor the dark, for it is only in the darkness that the candle shines. The next one is called Light, and this poem includes an allusion to one of the most beautiful stories of courage that I know in my family. That the menorah on Hanukkah, which is just coming up soon, is always lit in the window so the light can shine out and the world can see. But during the war in London, there was a blackout. So you had blackout curtains so your light couldn't be seen. And every night of Hanukkah, Grandpa put the menorah in the window with the blackout curtain behind it and still lit the menorah. So that's that story of my grandpa who only believed in God as a logical postulate and rebelled against Judaism by regularly eating bacon. This act of courage he always did during the war. And my mother told me that story. So here is the poem, Light. Child of the dark time, I long for light. Recall the light. Lights before I came into the world, Cranley Mews menorah kindling behind blackout curtains in the days when London burned and no church bells rang. Lights that welcomed me to the world, sodium lamps gleaming on icy streets, Advent candles calling to Emmanuel. Lights of childhood, Yule log in the hearth, lantern in tent, lamps shining through leaded glass, pooling on cobblestones, sunlight on warm brick wall, shafts of light through stained glass windows, Trinity Wharf lighthouse illuming London docks, Ipswich harbour lights reflected in the Orwell, ship lights, port red, starboard green. Lights of faith, Sabbath lights, Lumen Christi shining in dark church, tiered arati lamps circling before Shanta Durga, sea of butter lamps at Swambonath, Diwali lights floating down the Ganges. Lights of joy and sorrow, birthday candles, yahrzeit candles, kirtan votives, romantic candles, wildfire blazing on Bear Peak, starlight in the desert, firelight by full moon. Child of the dark time, I seek the light. light in face, in smile, in eyes, light of spirit, light of love, light of lights beyond the darkness. Child of the waning year, I see the light hidden in the hearts of all. The next one is a tongue-in-cheek story about a Christmas I spent with my sister and her family in Wales. And to understand this story, you should know that my disabled niece, at that point in her life, always had to have a bendy wooden snake as like a twiddly comfort. So all her bendy wooden snakes had just broken.
Bendy wooden snake
Bendy wooden snake. Snake
that's made of, I don't know.
It's like a snake that's made
of wooden pieces, and
pieces
she
of
can bend
wood.
it.
So it'll like kind of bend around.
She needed to bend it and twist it and play with it.
Oh, so there's like an autistic stem thing.
Yeah, though she's actually not autistic. She was into the bendy wooden snakes for comfort at that point.
You read before, was that something you wrote?
Yeah, I've written all of these.
Okay.
Solstice in Wales. In these days of deepening dark, curtains drawn at 4 o'clock, the house littered with dismembered reptile corpses, in these days of wet brown bracken, muddy boots, and early snow, in these uneasy times of shortages of Kleenex, coriander, and bendy wooden snakes, the Lord of Misrule walks our halls, and she who must continually blow her nose, and he who cannot cook without coriander, and she whose world is safe only when peopled with friendly snakies, gird ourselves against the darkness, call upon the light, and with song, with wooden spoons, with Punch and Judy puppets, invoke the Prince of Peace. Invoke the one who comes with healing in his wings, bringing with him tinsel and mince pies and a wealth of Kleenex, coriander, and bendy wooden snakes. The next one is a poem for Christmas Eve. Winter sun sets on East Anglian salt marshes, sodium lamps pool golden on the snow, candles glow in ancient chapel as childish treble intones, once in royal David's city. I listen while morning light breaks in crisp cold air, setting foothills aflame, and squirrels wake and scurry on the roof. Memories of 60 Christmases are layered like tissue paper, each holding its gift of sorrow or joy. The tiny babe lying in incubator, seeking life's wondrous star. The 1-year-old gazing in awe at her first Christmas tree. The nativity play where I was Mary and baby sister Katie was Jesus, helping Dad stretch paper chains across the sitting room, setting out sherry and mince pies for Santa, hanging up my stocking, and pretending to be asleep when Dad came in to fill it. The year Mum was in intensive care, and I shed tears into the mince pie mix, and the time I wrapped everything in pink and purple tissue paper. Indian Christmas at Ramakrishna Mission, doing puja to Christ. Desert Christmas, eating with the homeless in Tucson, Arizona. Ipswich Christmases with Mum and Dad around log fire, and candlelight service at Mary Latawa Church. Boulder Christmases, walking in a foot of snow to Thomas Aquinas on the hill for midnight mass, where Natanya took communion, thinking it was kiddish. Lighting a candle for Dad at Methodist carol service and praying he would live until we said farewell. Today I unwrap these memories as choir sings ding dong merrily, thinking of those long gone Grandpa's secular home office cards, Nutcracker ballet with Granny, and Nanny listening to Queen's speech. One day I too will be a Christmas memory, wrapped in gold tissue paper. And somebody, perhaps, will shed a tear, remembering a little babe who found her wondrous star and let her light shine forth. The next one is called The Christmas Tree. It's about my mum's Christmas tree that she got during the war, her artificial Christmas tree. The Christmas tree. It is older than me, the little raffia tree with red wooden berries. No live Christmas trees in wartime London. It means so much to her. Every year it comes out lovingly tinseled. The little fairy, a plastic baby doll, still wearing the lace tutu I made when I was 6. Ragged, but still here. The tree speaks of survival against the odds, victory over darkness, light reborn. It reminds her, too, of the years of bombs, ration books, and blossoming love, years that for her are redolent of Christmas pudding, Hanukkah candles, and kisses. Blackout years, foreshadowing magical births. Livy, Katie, Roz, and Nick, tiny hands fashioning papier-mâché cribs and clumsy lace tutus, gifts hidden in raffia fronds. The next one, my dad passed away on Christmas Eve at the dawn of the year 2009. He was supposed to have died when he was 17 of TB. So I wrote this poem, The First Kiss. I wrote it for Mum on Dad's anniversary, the first year after he died. But remember, he was supposed to die when he was 17, when they had first met. When he came home to die, you shed no tears, knowing in your heart the future that was yours. You had watched him turn pale, fever dew descend, sorry sanatorium swallow him. You'd met at 17, romance undimmed by rationing, buzz bombs, and air raid sirens, shared a first kiss at Willesden Junction Station 2 days after Christmas 1942. Your sparkling eyes gave him a reason to live. La belle dame sans merci fled from your ebullience. Condemned as a callow youth, he spent a rich, full lifetime by your side. The next one is called Starlings, and it's about when we went to see the murmuration of starlings in Aberystwyth. Starlings, blue-black wings flash through iron-grey sky. A lightning storm of birds whirls through falling light. We watch, shivering. Rain lashes us, cameras and glasses mist. Sea boils and roars. An hour before we saw them gather, circling Bontnoath fields. Now they rush in from north, south, east, squawking, chattering, swirling. Black sun sinks beneath pier, midwinter moot. The next one I wanted to do does fit in with the Starlings poem, though it's actually from fall. It's called A Murder of Crows. Black shapes glide overhead, wave upon wave, cawing loudly, calling their corvid brethren. They swoop down, roosting on treetops, golden, green, bare-twigged, like an autumn harvest of great black pears, rich with fabled wisdom. Solitary, flightless, I stand transfixed. Full moon rises smoky, penumbral shadow. I gaze at the dark heralds of ancient grandmother.
That's the name of the song or another poem, Murder of Crows. I think I've heard that before,
Yep,
but I'm not registering who did it.
a whole bunch of crows is called not a flock of crows, but a murder of crows. Now there's 4 little haiku type poems, Midwinter, Boulder, and Taos. 1. Bitter midwinter day, icy sidewalks, snowy foothills. A woman eats gelato. Brrr. 2. Red moon rises above glittering streets. Dogs are barking. 3. Luminarios flicker on adobe walls. Star is shining above tree of light. Feliz Navidad. 4. Ice sparkles, Rio Pueblo glistens, cottonwoods glow golden against the indigo sky. Next one is my prose poem that I wrote when Sadananda was on a 6-month retreat. So I was really, really, really missed him. It's called Winter Hike Prose Poem. The walk was beautiful and poignant, uplifting and painful. Ponderosa pines cast long blue shadows on gleaming snow, and rust-red outcrops were dusted with sparkling white. The park was full of skiers, wrapped up against the bitter cold, their dogs frisking in the snow. Magpies fluffed their feathers till they looked like strange piebald ravens. The chill burned my cheeks, and the sunlight was so brilliant that I squinted through my eyelashes. But where was the friend who strides ahead as I puff along on my short legs? Where was the one who makes footprints in the snow for me to walk with dry boots? Where was the one who shares with me these moments of startling beauty? Your absence grew deeper with every step of our accustomed winter outing. The emptiness beside me was a vast, aching space in the heart, a space that filled itself with everyone I had loved and lost. I ran downhill, imagining you running before me. I ran, taking in a double portion of Colorado beauty, your share, as well as my own. There's 2 more. The next one is Twelfth Night and the 3 Wise Poets. 12 nights of my childhood, flash memories, gathering round the Christmas tree, unwrapping small gifts hanging there and chocolate Santa Claus, singing We Three Kings, playing charades. A night both sweet and bitter like Mum's chocolate fudge. For soon they will be gone, the holly and the mistletoe, paper chains and tinsel, the tokens of festivity. And when the last sugar mouse is eaten, the last crumbs of Christmas cake gone, when the Yule log's embers are cold and the lights boxed in the attic, it is time to ask, like the Magi, were we brought all that way for birth or death? And Shelley answers, die, if thou wouldst be with that which thou dost seek. Die before you die, cries Rumi. Resurrection now. The last one I wrote after the Marshall Fire, it's called Sometimes It Is Hard to Celebrate. Sometimes it is hard to celebrate. It is hard to celebrate when 1,000 of your neighbors' homes are smoldering ruins. Hard to ring in with joy another year of war, famine, and pandemic. Another superlative year of mega droughts, super typhoons, historic floods, unprecedented fires, and staggering climate inaction. After seeing footage of malnourished Rohingya boys and of little Afghan girls being sold into marriage, it takes courage to go to the kitchen, peel the butternut squash, roast the pine nuts, make golden soup, bake lasagna, arrange a caprese wreath. In these moments, I recall what Reb Zalman told me. It is incumbent upon us to celebrate, to welcome in the Sabbath, to greet the incoming year. And so with courage, with freshness, with joy, I light the candle, turn to the tree of light, kneel before the crib, raise the glass, l'chaim, to life. Sometimes it is hard to celebrate, hard to reconcile the irrepressible joy in my heart with the world I see around me. Yet at the turning of the year, the returning of the light, I lift a cup of chamomile, softly sing Auld Lang Syne, recalling the light that shines in the dark, and the dark comprehends it not.
Thank you for tuning in to Ayurveda and Spirituality with Alakananda Ma. We hope today's exploration has ignited a spark of curiosity and insight within you. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to leave us a 5-star review and share it with a friend. For more enlightening discussions and practical wisdom on Ayurveda and spirituality, subscribe and join our Facebook group, Alundi Ayurveda. To allow us to continue sharing valuable content, consider donating to Alundi Ashram. The links will be in the show notes. Until next time, may you walk the path of Ayurveda with grace and embrace the light of spiritual wisdom in your journey.
Trayambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardanam urvarukamiva bandanam mrityormukshiyam